Have you joined the Politics Nation conversation on Facebook yet? Over the weekend, thousands came to our Facebook page to watch live as the Zimmerman verdict was delivered. And the case has been a big topic in the Politics Nation Facebook community. Many people are also talking about the case of Marissa Alexander, the Florida woman now serving 20 years in prison for firing a gun and not hitting anyone. We've covered her story before, and we'll revisit it tonight. On both cases, we want to hear what you think. Please head over to Facebook and search Politics Nation and like us to join the conversation that keeps going long after the show ends. Florida resident Marissa Alexander is serving 20 years for firing a shot that didn't hit anybody, and others go free. How is this justice in America? That's coming up. 20 years behind bars for a warning shot that didn't hit anyone, but a man who killed an unarmed 17-year-old walks free. That's next. In the days since George Zimmerman's acquittal, attention has refocused on another Florida case with a much different outcome. In 2010, Marissa Alexander fired a gunshot into a wall during an argument with her husband. Alexander said her husband, who had a history of domestic violence, was assaulting her, and it was a warning shot. No one was hurt. But Alexander was charged with 3 counts of aggravated assault. A judge denied her stand your ground claim, and Alexander was sent to prison for 20 years. Here's what she says about the incident.
I believe when he threatened to kill me, that's what he was going to do. That's exactly what he intended to do. And had I not discharged my weapon at that point, I would not be here. This is my life I'm fighting for. This is my life. And it's my life, and it's not entertainment. It is my life.
20 years in prison for firing a warning shot. But a man who killed an unarmed 17-year-old walks free. Joining me now is Kevin Coben, Marissa Alexander's attorney, and Joy Reid, an MSNBC contributor who covered this story of Marissa Alexander. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Kevin, your client is serving 20 years. What was your reaction when you saw the verdict over the weekend?
It was definitely disappointing. When you have a case like Marissa Alexander, who should be the poster child for what stand your ground law is, a woman who had been abused several times, been placed in the hospital, had an injunction for protection, and yet she is not getting given the benefit of the doubt and allowed to use this stand your ground law as it clearly states in the legislature, but yet someone like George Zimmerman can use it. It's frustrating, and it shows that you definitely have.
Let me review that again, Kevin. She had been hospitalized, assaulted, and had a peace warrant issued. Yet with all of this, and she was assaulted by this husband, she sent a warning shot that threatened to kill her. With all of that, she was denied the use of stand your ground in court by the judge.
Absolutely, and we see that too often in court. You know, when black defendants they're not given the benefit of the doubt. It's not reasonable that they defend themselves, but we see time and time again, as in the Zimmerman case, the law seems to apply to them. And that's why we have a serious problem here in Florida, and we need to address that.
Joy, you covered this case, and this case is something that a lot of people, we've mentioned it on this show and our radio show before, a lot of people are raising it this weekend as we talk about the Justice Department looking at the application of stand your ground even in Florida, as well as why the law in itself needs to be dealt with.
Absolutely, and a lot of people are also probably not aware that the exact same state attorney that prosecuted George Zimmerman, Angela Corey, prosecuted Marissa Alexander, vigorously prosecuted her, by the way, after she rejected an initial plea deal. She went in and prosecuted her to the fullest extent of the law, 20-year sentence. And keep in mind also that Marissa Alexander's husband had previously thrown her across the bathroom and she landed in the tub, had landed her in the hospital while pregnant. She had a very young child that is now growing up with the abusive husband who told police investigators very forthrightly that he's beaten every single girlfriend he's ever had except one. And by the way,
he had five different women had children for him, and he said he beat every one of them.
Beat every one of them except one, and the one was not Marissa Alexander. He beat her too. And at the time of this incident, she had been chased into a bathroom after receiving a text message from a male friend, and the husband became enraged. She said he chased her into a bathroom, attempted to force his way into the bathroom, and when she fled to try to flee to the garage, he cornered her. She fired a warning shot over his head in the kitchen. Angela Corey's explanation for why she charged her so heavily was because there are two older children in the house. They weren't even in the vicinity of the gunshot, but now we have a situation where a minor was the victim of a fatal shooting. There was no arrest initially. The prosecution seemed to be very limp. They didn't seem really to go for it the way they went for it with Marissa Alexander. But if stand your ground doesn't apply to a woman who's got a known abuser she's facing, someone menacing her inside her own home, she's in her castle. Right. Castle doctrine means you're in your castle. You don't have a duty to retreat. Angela Corey's explanation was, well, she could have run out the front door. No duty to retreat is supposed to mean no duty to retreat, but apparently it didn't apply here.
Now, let me go back to you, Kevin. In terms of the broad use of stand your ground, it is at the discretion of first the prosecutor and a judge, right? Because I want people to understand, as egregious as this individual case is, there is a systematic problem with this law and how it is structured in Florida and 29 other states.
The problem is that if you don't allow stand your ground to apply to all defendants, and you apply it one way to some person and another way to another person, you basically, there's no, what is stand your ground? What is self-defense? And so then you have Mr. Alexander's case where if the prosecutor then decides to add the enhancement of 10-20 life, which they did in her case, then if she goes to trial, she's basically stuck with a 20-year sentence where nobody has discretion to change that. And that's happening to people every single day. They're getting these tremendously long sentences on first-time offenses when they had valid claims of self-defense, valid stand-your-ground claims. And like I said, it's a problem all across the state.
This is a huge discrepancy in terms of how the discretion is used, Joy.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other problem with stand your ground is, first of all, it encourages you, in a sense, to shoot to kill. Because in cases where the person you shoot survives, because there is another witness, and in this case they used one of the young children as one of the witnesses, it's very difficult to win a stand your ground case. You know how you win? If the person you shoot dies.
Kevin Coburn and Joy Reid, thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Thank you.